Welcome back. Here's your lesson on Newton's laws, number 1 and 2. So you should have a reading to do from the textbook along with some questions at the end, but here's kind of the rundown on what you need to know and the main takeaways. So first of all, who is this guy Newton that we keep talking about? Well, Isaac Newton is well known in the world of physics because one day he was sitting under a tree and an apple fell next to him. He was the first person to ever look at the apple and think, why the heck did it fall to the ground instead of skyrocketing in the air, staying on the tree branch, and basically anything else, right? So he did a lot of thinking and experimenting and observing, and he's the one that came up with the idea of gravity, first and foremost, as well as his 3 different laws that we use to talk about motion and forces. So the first law that you need to know is this first law, and what that law says is an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion. So for example, if you like to just hang around and do nothing on your days off, if your parents will let you, or they're gone out of town, sometimes you have a hard time getting going, especially like in the winter, when you're feeling just kind of blah and you don't really want to do anything. You'd rather just stay there. Once you get outside and start moving, then you feel like moving, right? So if you're at rest, it's really hard to get going again. On the opposite end, sometimes once you're going, it's hard to make yourself stop. You just have all that energy you have to get out. It's not quite how it works physics-wise, but you can kind of think of it that way. Is once something is moving, it usually wants to stay moving. And the other name we use to describe this, instead of saying Newton's first law, is just the word inertia. So inertia means that something that's at rest will stay at rest, and something that's moving will continue to move unless something else acts on it. So the second law you need to know about, you can say it in all sorts of fancy terms. The book has a long explanation. All you really need to know is that force is equal to mass times acceleration. So F equals ma. So F stands for force, M stands for mass, down here, and A stands for acceleration. So may the force be with you. You might sometimes see me post, may the F equal ma be with you. So when you have problems to solve asking for force, you should hopefully have mass in grams or kilograms, acceleration in meters per second squared, and you can solve that. You should also know that the unit we use for force, I kind of mentioned in the last video, is called a Newton. So not like a fig Newton, more like Isaac Newton. We decided he was cool enough for discovering this that we would name that unit after him. The unit is the same as 1 kilogram times 1 meter per second squared. It's the same way to write it. So make sure when you do these problems that your mass is in kilograms and not in grams. So if it's in grams, you need to you need to divide it by 1,000 in order to get it into kilograms. And we'll work through that together. But you'll have a couple of these practice problems. Give it a shot. If you have questions, give me a call, send me a message in WhatsApp. I'll help you work through them. And then you'll have a chance to kind of practice some of these laws on your lab for Monday.